And here are the nominees for Best Round of the Year. August 1st in Brooklyn, New York, Daniel Jacobs versus Sergio Mora, round number 1.
Oh, and he gets floored by a huge shot from Daniel Jacobs. They trade knockdowns in the first round. Can you believe this start to Mora Jacobs?
August 14th in Newark, New Jersey, Krzysztof Grobanski versus Marco Hook, round number 6.
Drops Grobanski for the first time in his career. Krzysztof Grobanski on his back. The count has reached 6. Can he make it? Is he solid? Is he solid? Hook trying to close out Grobanski. Amazing action.
August 29th in Los Angeles, California, Leo Santa Cruz versus Abner Mares, round number 2.
Santa Cruz trying to bully him a little bit. Another great exchange of infighting. Both men so willing.
November 13th in Biloxi, Mississippi, Edwin Rodriguez versus Michael Seals, round number 1.
Rodriguez throwing bombs to begin the first 5 seconds of the fight. That is the first time in Michael Seals' career he has been knocked down. Oh, and he gets him. A knockdown, and Rodriguez is staggered. Back-to-back knockdowns in the first minute of the fight.
The nominees for Best Round of the Year.
So there are your nominees. Big-time knockdowns, rallies, and furious exchanges. But now it's time to reveal the best round of the year. The winner is...
Oh, and he gets floored by a huge shot from Daniel Jacobs. He opened up and went down. Oh, and he scores a knockdown. They trade knockdowns in the first round. Incredible start. Can you believe this start to Mora Jacobs?
What a first round it was. Both fighters getting big punches in early, and the man who ultimately went on to win that fight joins us now, current middleweight champion Daniel Jacobs. Daniel, congratulations. This fight against Mora was your second title defense. I'm sure the adrenaline was high. You get the early knockdown at that point. How comfortable were you feeling?
I was very comfortable after I got the knockdown with Mora. I know going into the fight, I was very confident that me being the bigger middleweight, he was going to feel the power. And a couple of minutes after, I remember just dropping him, and you know, I realized at that point that it was just a matter of time before I stopped him. But then I got caught. It was a kind of a shocker to me, and it was funny because I didn't realize that he can do that, and I didn't realize that I was so vulnerable that I can allow another man to do that to me again. And when I was on the floor, I just remember getting up and talking to him and saying, "I'm coming for you. This isn't over. I'm going to knock you out." And sure enough, that's what we did.
Daniel, looking back on that round, are you glad it went that way? Was it a lesson learned that you hope will pay off?
I'm glad everything happened the way it happened. I mean, in the sport of boxing, you can take numerous of things from one performance. Even if it's a 2-round fight, you can take so much and add it to your resume or switch some of the flaws that's in your game. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned personally from that fight was to always protect yourself even when you have a man hurt. Always, you know, understand that this is still a fight and anything at any given moment can happen.
So you stopped Mora in the second round, which, of course, sets up the Battle of Brooklyn with Peter Quillen. Let's talk about that fight. Title was on the line. Brooklyn bragging rights on the line. Quillen had never been knocked out, yet you knocked him out in 85 seconds. A massive win for you, one that you said would change your life. Has it started to?
Did the fight with Peter Quillen change my life? I mean, that's one of those things where it'll have to come in the near future. You'll be able to see that. I mean, I've been boxing for a very long time, and I believe now that with this impressive victory that I have, I'll be able to reap the benefits of all my hard work and hard labor. My next fight might probably even be my biggest lucrative fight thus far. So, you know, the near future will tell.
You two very complimentary of each other following the fight, showed one another a lot of respect. Have you talked with him since that night?
I haven't got a chance to talk to Peter after the fight thus far. But once the smoke clears and the dust settles, I'll be able to reach out, and hopefully everything will still be pretty cool between him and I, because we've been friends outside the ring, and I want to give him his space and allow him to, you know, people deal with their defeats differently, so I want to allow him to deal with his defeat, and then we can go back to being friends.
Clearly, that was a massive win, and you are the star in the sport of boxing right now. Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather Jr., they were able to transcend boxing and become sports stars. Do you want that for yourself? And if so, how do you go about getting it?
I definitely want to be one of the superstars of the sport, and I want to be able to transcend the sport into the gentleman sport it used to be back in the days of the Muhammad Ali's, the Sugar Ray Robinsons, and guys like that who always represented more than just a sport. They was the people's champions. So, you know, me admiring that coming up as a boy and always wanting to be the people's champion, I want to be able to, you know, kind of bring it back to some of the essence that it used to have back in the day.
Okay, thanks for joining us, Daniel, and congratulations on winning Best Round of the Year.
Thank you.
Now bring in PBC ringside analyst and cruiserweight contender BJ Flores. All right, just heard from Daniel Jacobs. He says he wants to transcend the sport. How does he go about doing that?
Oh, first of all, you know, a guy like Danny Jacobs with such explosive power and athleticism, scoring these types of knockouts are going to get the casual fan at home very interested. He's doing a pretty good job, Liam.
Yeah, rounds like this aren't going to hurt his cause either. Let's look at round one. Jacobs, Mora, let's start with that first knockdown.
Exactly how he did it. He was in the southpaw stance. He switched up. He caught the punch of Mora, comes back with his own counter right hook. Beautiful catch counter by Jacobs, and just good alertness and awareness. It looks right here like Sergio Mora's down. This fight's almost over. But then later in the round, boom, Sergio Mora hits him with a beautiful left hook, perfectly timed right on the point of the chin, showing that championship level experience. And then it looks like the tables have turned on Danny Jacobs, and he could be a victim of a knockout.
Yeah, so Jacobs looks like he's in trouble. He comes back to win that fight in convincing fashion. What do you learn about Jacobs in a moment like that?
I mean, I think we all know that the kid's got a tremendous amount of heart and a lot of desire, but it's always nice to see him do it in the ring like that. He still had his doubters, you know. People still thought Danny Jacobs, we'll see how he goes. I think in that fight, he proved a lot of people wrong, and it was a very nice statement for Danny Jacobs.
Yeah, it was an incredible moment, and the first winner has been named. But still, we have so much more to come. For the best of 2015, when we come back, guest appearances from some of the top stars of this past year.
Coming up next, the presentation of the PBC Top Rising Star Award when Premier Boxing Champions Best of 2015 returns.